Hey, and welcome back to All Over the Map. Thanks for tuning in. On today's episode, we're going to play News of the Day for February 9th, 2022. This is a series of daily videos that I will be doing on News of the Day, events around the world, and having fun by playing GeoGuessr, learning the actual locations of the events and the craziness and the fun of the news around the world. So, with that said, we are going to get right into playing this game. We'll do this game as a no time limit move allowed challenge, and the play along link will be in the description below. And we're going to get off to see where this first game takes us to. And we've got Chernobyl, which is in Ukraine. And we'll bring up the news article for this. It says here, in Chernobyl, a ghost town, Ukraine forces are training for combat. So what's interesting here is in Pripyat, in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, Ukrainian National Guard troops on Friday staged urban combat exercises. The live fire training carried out in one of the most radioactive places on Earth came as warnings swirl over a potential Russian invasion. So what's interesting is, for me, is that the training is taking a place where there's highly radioactive hotspots, and I don't know what else to say other than working with Geiger counters. Probably not the best thing, but then again, this whole Russia-Ukraine thing doesn't make a whole lot of sense anyway. So, at least for me, I mean, for some people it might, but for me anyway. So let's get in and take a look at where this is. Hopefully they're not training here. Hopefully they're training in a different area, but let's just take a quick look here in Pripyat, which is in Ukraine. So let's just find out where this is. Pripyat is, and there's Chernobyl, which is close to the Belarus, actually, border to Ukraine. So as you can see here, here's Belarus, here's Kiev. So we're not that far away, just directly north. And the actual location of the Chernobyl disasters over in here near the Pripyat River. But in this location, we are in the urban area, and I think we were located here near the Pripyat amusement park. So we'll guess that. And that's where we were. 234 yards, 4,999 points. Training, the military's training in a radioactive hotspot, potentially. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But nonetheless, hey, that's what we have. Okay, so we've got interesting, this is an interesting news article. So we have the port of Helsinki in Finland. And I thought to include this article, obviously, because of the Finnish support of the channel, but also because of this. What I found in this article is a Helsinki-Tallinn tunnel to connect Finland to Estonia. And it says there's an ambitious plan to build a tunnel from Helsinki to Tallinn. Peter Vesterbacka, the founder of the company and the founding partner, talk about projecting the progress of the tunnel connecting Finland to the Baltics, and basically attracting talent, going both ways, talent in terms of employees and smart people and etc. But the there's a current ferry ride that takes about 2 hours, and this will shorten that, potentially 20 minutes by train. The tunnel would not only bring Finland and Estonia closer together, but remove the island status of Finland and connect Europe via rail. The tunnel is planned to be completed by the end of 2024 if approval process goes smoothly. That is very ambitious, 2024, only 2 years away. They'll integrate these two countries, and there is support for the tunnel, as you see here. The impression of the tunnel tubes like it's trains. I don't know if there's this. Is this a road? Not really sure, but the article is linked in the description below. It's a pretty extensive article. but connecting like the channel between France and England. This Helsinki Tallinn tunnel is planned to be finished by the end of 2024. And yeah, to me, it's interesting. They're going to test the tunnel this year off the Finnish coast in the island of Risakari. So the biggest picture, what I thought was interesting, what was pretty cool too, is there's a Bay Island area, artificial island stationed for the train. So let's take a look at this. We're gonna go in and see the port of Helsinki, and I'm guessing that's where this will start or depart from. And here's Helsinki and Tallinn. So for those that aren't familiar, the Gulf of Finland is in between the two. Quite the distance for this tunnel, but again, I'm not familiar with this, but I guess this ferry takes 2 hours. Well, that will be shortened by 20 to 20 minutes. So let's take a look at the port. Where I put the port here. I think it's here in Hernesaari. I think I was there. Yeah, so this is the Helsinki-Tallinn, I guess, ferry you can take from here. I'm not really sure. From the E6, well, there's the E67 right here. And this is where I would guess that the tunnel could go. I think that here's Risakari, where they're going to do some preliminary, I guess, work on that tunnel. But yeah, very interesting. Very interesting to connect these two cities, Estonia to Finland or Finland to Estonia. So pretty interesting there. We'll guess that. And that's where we were. There at the port of Helsinki. All right, we'll get off to the next news article. We've got the middle of the United States here. It's not a Great Lake, but it is a lake. And at Lake Texoma, a woman was rescued after floating on an air mattress for 2 days on Lake Texoma. If you had to guess, Tex and Oma, probably Texas and Oklahoma. Well, that's where the actual location is. Anyway, a woman spent 2 days floating alone on an air mattress atop a frigid lake. A pair of watchful freight train workers came to her rescue. On Thursday, conductor Christian Sosa told CNN on Monday that the BNSF southbound train was heading to Irving, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys, from Medill, Oklahoma in the afternoon. That's when Sosa and train engineer Justin Luster noticed her. The woman was stranded on rocks next to Lake Texoma, a large reservoir on the border of Oklahoma and Texas, about 85 miles north of Dallas. So there's some clues there. She was waving her arms and yelling for help, according to the two men. They stopped the train and walked to the woman. Connie cut her hands and was bleeding. She was wet and confused, had no recollection of time. So she was either early stages of hypothermia or already had it. The temperatures were below freezing, which is always interesting because this part of the world can warm up pretty fast. But she'd been floating on an air mattress. So she had been with her fiance at first and had initially gone into the water to recover items that had fallen from a boat. So there you go. She tried to recover from the boat, recover her items falling from the boat, and I just can't figure out why she would be floating on an air mattress, which is interesting. So, an interesting article there. Thank God Connie's okay. And we're going to find out where Lake Texoma is. And we'll take a look at this. This is an interesting news article, that's for sure. So here's Oklahoma and here's Texas. And we are the Chickasaw Nation. So I believe there's Medill. And here's Irving, Texas. So the train was going there. Irving, the former home of the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys are now in Arlington, but the old stadium for Dallas was in Irving, which is, as you see, quite a ways outside of Dallas. So let's just take a look at this. I think we were on this bridge here, crossing Lake Texoma. And to be honest, I think the actual train, probably what they saw it was here. Nonetheless, Connie is okay. And hopefully sleeping on the air mattress instead of trying to find our way. All right, so we get off to the fourth news story of the day, and we've got the Tongan flag and Central Police Station there in Tonga. And Elon Musk is helping restore Tongan internet, the virus outbreak growing. So entrepreneur Elon Musk is helping reconnect Tonga to the internet after a volcanic eruption and tsunami cut off the South Pacific nation more than 3 weeks ago, which has been a problem. I know that it's been a problem, and there's only a sole fiber optic cable that connects Tonga to the rest of the world, and most people remain without reliable connections. That's tough because I didn't realize until this happened how much you are, that are watching this video, reliant on those cables that go across transatlantic, transpacific, everywhere in the world. And good thing here is Elon Musk is helping out this, giving some support, which is always a good thing to see somebody with that kind of money to help out. And I know his satellites and Starlink will probably help bring the internet to a lot of folks in the world that don't currently have it, that aren't on the cables that bring internet around the world. Again, I think it's like 90-something percent, 99 it could be, you might know, of the world is connected on the World Wide Web via cables that are at the bottom of the ocean, which is fascinating to me. So, nonetheless, let's just go take a look at where Tonga is on this map. And I know it's out here somewhere. There's Tonga, and I think we're in the main town, Nuku'alofa. And I think we are near the police station. Where would that be? Well, it's around here somewhere. Let's see. I think we're here. I don't know if it's listed, but I think we're about there. And that's, well, we were 116 yards. We were in the next street down. But they're in Tonga, 5,000 points for that round. And the last news event of the day, looking out to the, again, this is another one, Pacific Ocean. Actually, we've got stairs there. Going up is Pitcairn Island, this is. Well, this is the actual closest location that I could find to the space graveyard, which you may or may not know this. I found this article in the space graveyard where the International Space Station will be buried, which is interesting. So in the upcoming, looks like it's once it's retired in 2030, the International Space Station will be decommissioned and will be plummeting to Earth. And what I didn't know is that 3,000 miles off the coast of New Zealand and 2,000 miles north of Antarctica, Point Nemo is so far from land that the closest humans are often the astronauts on board the International Space Station, 227 nautical miles above the Earth. So when it falls, when the junk falls, it's going to fall in this area called Point Nemo, named after Captain Nemo from the Jules Verne novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So this is interesting because that's a pretty big piece of space junk. And what's the other interesting is more than 263 pieces of space debris have sunk in this area since 1971, including Russia's Mir space station and NASA's first space station, Skylab. So this is the largest ocean area without any islands, the safest area that won't crash into anybody, I guess. So this is always interesting. And here we can see on the map Point Nemo. You got Chile, New Zealand, Antarctica, Australia. So that's in the middle of pretty much nowhere. And this, again, like all these articles, are listed in the description below. You can read them in further detail. A little bit off today, I would say, on this for me. But again, want to bring you some great content and games to play and unique ideas. So let's just take a look at this. I picked the next, again, I'll give you, it's Pitcairn Island, so you just got to find that on the map. And even, it's hard to find, because I know it's, okay, here's Hangaroa, There's Papit, and I think Pitcairn Islands are out here. There's a whole story about that, but I think, wait a minute, we are here or Pitcairn Islands. Anyway, this is going to be tough for some of you, and it's even tough for me, but I think we were at the bottom point of this island. I think that's where it was, so let's just guess that, and no, I even got that wrong. We were down here at Adamstown. St. Paul's Pool was where this location was on the map. You may not have gotten that one, but yeah, Point Nemo, if we scroll out, is probably more like down in this area here. But unfortunately, on the GeoGuessr maps, there are no photospheres, no Google cars, nothing in this part of the world. This is probably why the space debris will fall to that spot. So, 24,413 on News of the Day for February 9th, 2022. If you have any suggestions to this game, comment in the comment section below. If you have any comments on the news, comment below as well. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share this with your friends. Want to grow the channel, want to bring you great content. We're going to try to do 2 to 3 videos a day during the week. On the weekend, a little less, but we'll try to bring you a lot of great content nonetheless. With that said, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, cheers.